Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. Better late than never. We're going to play with this Ladybug Glow Criatura palette. This palette was lost in transit and I really wanted to play with this because the color theory is so beautiful. Have you even seen this palette? It's so pretty, you guys. If you are a color wearer, I mean greens, pinks, purples, blue, everything is right there. And it is paired up with 4 beautiful shimmery shifty shades. They have one holochrome and the others, everything like shifts so beautifully. We are also doing some live swatches towards the end of the video and we'll be doing 3 looks using this Criatura palette. I also do have a code with Ladybug Glow. It's Smithy Sony, everything in caps, and you can use it for 10% off on their website or on their Etsy shop. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the 3 looks and the live swatches using this palette. Okay, let's begin with the first look using the Criatura palette. I'm going to office, so I have to just mellow down a tad bit, but I feel like we are going to play with like grays and purples. What do you say? Maybe grays and greens. I don't know. I'm wearing like a maroon reddish sweater. Let's start. Okay, I'm going to take that abyss shade, which is that gray shade. So let's do that. And I'm going to concentrate that in the inner third of the crease. That's pigmented and it's blending so beautifully. This palette took a while to reach me. It was lost in transit. Oh my god, it was a big story, but better late than never. And as soon as I saw this color story, I knew that I wanted to play with this because it's such a beautiful color story. It's like colorful but muted at the same time. And that's what I love about eyeshadow palettes. So we have that all across the inner corners of the crease. Now let's take the shade Criatura, the beautiful purple in the palette. I mean, how can anyone resist that purple? I have no idea because that looks so amazing. Oh, look at the pigmentation. Let's see how that blends with that gray. Oh, wow. It's melting in so beautifully. Wow. They've definitely done something different with their mattes. For sure. I love this matte formula. Oh my god. Amanda, you've done amazing things with this matte formula. I've not even tested their shimmer formula in this palette, but mattes are definitely feeling a little different. I'm well aware of Ladybug Glow palettes. I have everything that they've ever launched. If you've seen my palette ranking, you know how much I love their shimmers, but my complaint was always with their mattes because their mattes were like very lightly pressed and it took a while for them to like build on their eyes. But this, wow. Look how beautifully it melts with each other. Oh my god. I'm just taking the initial blending brush that we used with that gray shade and just going over the edges of that purple too, just to melt everything together and just blend the edges just so that there's no harsh lines. Oh my god, I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay, let's take that same purple shade, Criatura. Criatura means creature. In love. Ladybug Glow, if you're hearing me, which I'm pretty sure you will be hearing me, continue with this matte formula. I love it. I love it. Going back into that abyss shade and going in the inner half of the lower lash line, that gray shade. Love it. Okay, I'm going to put some NYX glitter glue. How easy was that? 2 shadows and the mattes are done. Okay, you know I have to work with my purples. Let's save the bolder purple, like this blue purple, for another day. Let's start off with this and then let's see where we need to. I'm thinking these 2 shades, maybe these 2 shades, but let's start off with this illusion shade and see. It's like a gray purple. Oh my god. Yes, you need to be there everywhere. Oh my god. Isn't that stunning? Isn't that stunning? That's beautiful. Formula wise, this is the best Ladybug Glow palette that I've ever tried. I know I've only tried 3 shades. Based on that 3 shades, I can tell that for sure. Oof, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, definitely need to work with another one. Should we use that blue purple? I think we should. Okay, let's do that. Fantasy shade, the blue purple shade. I'm just gonna take that right there. And melt it with that deeper purple shade. How stunning can it be? Obviously, I went with a monochromatic eye look, but world is your oyster, my friends. With this color story, you can do so much. So much. Oh my god, I'm so in love. I'm just gonna put my highlighter in the inner corners. I'm gonna use the WhatsApp Beauty highlighter, and this one is in the shade Safari Sunset. I'm gonna take the champagne shade and just plop that. Just don't want so much of pop in the inner corner, especially when I'm going to office. But this would tie in beautifully. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my first eye look. I know the sun is out, I'm sorry, but this is my first eye look. You can see all the sparkles and the shine with the sunlight. I'm really sorry, I'm going to office, so I have to run, but I'll give you a close-up in the outside lighting too, so that you can see everything in action. Okay, let's begin with our second look. The first one was purple. I'm thinking of playing with pinks and greens. Let's mix and match rather than going monochromatic. And I feel like you can definitely go monochromatic with like beautiful greens, beautiful blues. Obviously you saw the purple look, but we're gonna mix and match now. Let's play with hot pinks and muted deep greens. So let's start off with that. I'm going to start with the shade Swamp. So I'm going to take this Swamp shade. Looks like very like muted but deep green. Right there. Definitely has some fallout, as you can see right there. See, I'll definitely do my eyes first. But also it's muted and deep, which I always love. Okay, let's flick off that fallout. Now once we have that green, I'm gonna dip into this Beast shade, which is that hot pink, and I'm gonna see and melt it with that green. And I'm going with a very light pressure, if you can see. Like one tap is all that I did, and that's mainly because I want this as a crease shade. Obviously, if you want like this as a hot pink shade all across the eyelid, you can definitely go with like a denser brush. My intention is to go light, but super pigmented. So as you can see, and I'll go back with that green shade again and just build it out. Just going on top and melting it out. Right there. Definitely have some fallout, ignore that, okay? Going with that dark green shade again, right in the outer corners, and then dipping into this shade, which is Phantasm, I think, and going on the lower lash line, melting it with that green. It's a beautiful, like a minty shade right there. That'll be stunning as an inner corner shade, so let's do that. Place that right there. Just for something special. Look at that. That's stunning. I love it. Okay. Now I'm going to place my NYX glitter glue right on the center of my eyelid. Okay, now for the shimmer shade. I want to do this green so bad. Yeah, let's do that actually. It's like a purple to a green shifting shade. And I'm going to take that right there next to that green. And this green would be the center of the attraction for this eye. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, I'm going to take this shade Illusion and I'm going to take that in the inner third of the eyelid. Just melting it with that green. I love a combination of green and purple together. And that purple is amazing. And that will melt so good with this pink. Just like that, okay? I'm gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my second eye look. I love this eye. I love the combination of pinks and greens together. I feel like it's so elegant, so subtle, but it gives an impact on the eye, especially if you are a color wearer. I mean, this is so beautiful. I really love it. I really love. I cannot wait to play with the blues. So let's do that. I have to play with these three shades together because we have to utilize everything in the palette. So I'm gonna start with this shade, Lush, and then Monster, and then Critter. But we're gonna start with from dark to light. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with the shade Critter, which is that deeper blue purple shade. Actually like a navy blue, I would say. These shades definitely have some kick up in the pan, but also these are very pigmented. That's amazing. I love it. So pretty. Look at that shade of blue. Even if you have to like go subtle, take this blue and this gray together. It'll be amazing as a neutral eye. Obviously, I have to use all the shades in the palette just in a review purpose. That's why I'm going with all those shades. But I feel like those two shades together would be amazing. Taking that same blue shade, Critter, on the lower lash line. Actually, just on the outer corners of the lower lash line. Just right there. Just combining both of those things together. Now I'm going to take this shade, which is Monster, which is that tealy blue shade. And I'm going to take that next to that deeper navy blue. And obviously focusing more on the crease, but I'll bring it down a tad bit. And I'll also get that gray out just to blend the edges. Look at that. That's so stunning. Just bringing it down a little bit. Just right there. I'm going to take a clean blending brush with that abyss shade, the gray, and just going over the edges of that blue as well as that teal shade, just to blend out a light circular motion, just so that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to take this shade, which is Lush, which is that parrot green shade, and I'm going to focus that in the inner part of the crease, just right there. If it is a white base, it would pop a lot more, but oh well. Just right there. Just cleaning up the brush in between and just melting it with that teal shade so that the blend is seamless and we don't lose out on any shades. Just like that, okay? I'm gonna finish off this eye with some NYX glitter glue and I'll get right back. Now, once we have that NYX glitter glue, let's test out the last shade of the palette, and this is called Epic, and this is, I think, the holochrome shade of the palette. Oh, so pretty. It's like a golden holochromy shade. I'm gonna take that. Oh my goodness. That is so bright. Obviously, it's because of the glitter glue that it is coming up as so opaque. But if you want like a scattered effect, just avoid the glitter glue and just scatter it out with a brush, like a loose fluffy brush. Obviously, there'll be fallout, but you'll get that scattered effect. And then I'll go back with that navy blue shade and just go over the edges. And then I'll finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my third eye look. I love how colorful that is too. And that holochromy shade is so pretty, so pretty. Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, let me just wrap up my thoughts for the Criatura palette. I feel like they've definitely amped up their matte formula, and I've always loved their shimmer formula. So there's nothing to brag about these shimmer formulas, because I feel like the shimmer formulas is absolutely epic. I really love that. The only thing that I would say to just be careful about is these deeper shades. This shade, this shade, this shade has definitely a lot of fallout. So if you are a person who wants to avoid fallout, as you can see, like underneath my eyes, I still have a little bit of fallout. Just do your eyes first and then your face. Just for this video purposes, I had to just do my face just so that the video is quick. But otherwise, I feel like if those mattes are a little bit more like hardly pressed in the pan, but keep the pigment the same, I really love the direction that they're going, and I love the shimmers. Let's do some live swatches before wrapping up this video. So let's start off with the first row. And the first row is almost all like fun neon-y shades. As you can see, look at that. So pretty. Okay, let's do that. Really vibrant shades. And you can see it in action. Like no cuts there. It's really vibrant shades. Love those. Let's move on to the next 4 mattes also, and then we'll go with the shimmers. The next 4 mattes are definitely the muted ones in the palette. So let me show those to you. Very creamy, but look at that. Really lovely muted, except this minty shade. So let's do here. My favorite purple shade. So vibrant, I love it. So let me show you these shades. So those are the mattes in the palette. And you can see the variety that you can do with this is so much. If you want a minty look, if you want a green look, if you want a blue look, if you want a pink look, if you want a purple look, everything can be achieved with this palette. I love the variety of lighter tones, mid tones, as well as deeper tones. I feel like they have absolutely killed it with that. I really love it. Now let me show you the shimmers, because they are some shifty shimmers. So let's start off with Epic, which is the holochrome shade of the palette. Then we have Whimsical, which is green to a purple shifting shade. Love that shade. I love Illusion too, which is like the brightest muted purple. And then obviously Fantasy, which is that blue purple shade. Look at the dimension. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, let's start. There you go. So pretty, you guys. Let me do that purple again, just so that you can see all the shimmery effect. Look at those tones. They're amazing. So beautiful, so jewel toned, I would say. Really beautiful. And those are the shades of this Criatura palette by Ladybug Glow. Now Ladybug Glow is taking a little bit of break from their regular releases. I know the owner of Ladybug Glow, and she wants to take a little bit of break due to some health reasons, and which she should, for sure. But they would come back with a bang, but you will see them after a few months. But meanwhile, if you want to purchase this palette, you can use the code SMITHYSONY to save 10% off. This palette would be available on their Etsy website as well as their own website. I really give it a big thumbs up from my side to the Criatura palette. Love the artwork, love the shades, love how beautifully it performed on the eyes too. I really love it. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.